For the very first time, I'm going to be revealing my full portfolio, including the entire dollar amounts. Now, in the past, I have not been 100% transparent with regards to my portfolio, but as you might know, I do want to be 100% transparent. So that is why I've taken some security measures, and now I want to show everything in my portfolio so you can keep track. Now, you might wonder why I'm doing this exactly, because, well, I do want to be 100% transparent, but I also want to document my entire journey. I want everyone to basically see what kind of journey I'm walking through and what kind of steps I'm taking, and also what kind of results I'm getting from taking those steps. So we're just going to start right away with the Excel sheet that I am using to keep track of my portfolio. Now in the future I'm going to be using a portfolio tracker called Alpha Stocks, but right now it is only available for Dutch people. So I'm just going to be doing my Excel sheet version right now, and potentially, probably in a few months time, I'm going to be doing it on Alpha Stocks instead. So let's take a look at my portfolio with regards to the positions of my cash position, my crypto positions, and also my stock positions. As you can see, the total amount of money invested right now is about 122,000 euros. So this is all in euros, not in dollars. And yeah, keep in mind that the amount of cash over here does include a little bit of margin, because right now I think I'm borrowing about 2,500 euros at the Giro, where I keep most of my stocks. So the amount of cash right now is almost 10,000 in total, but that is, yeah, subtracted with a little bit of margin. And then you arrive at an amount of 7,400 euros right now in cash. So if you look at my crypto position, that is definitely my largest position for sure. It is almost at 70,000, and it is right now 57% of my entire portfolio. Later on, we're going to take a look what kind of things are inside that crypto portfolio. And right now, about 44.6 thousand euros is in stocks. And also for that, we're going to be taking a look at the exact holdings within the stock portfolio. With regards to the crypto portfolio, it has basically grown organically. More or less almost 2 years ago now, I bought my very first crypto. I was able to buy Bitcoin below 10,000, so around like 9,000, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. And I was also able to buy things like Chainlink and Ethereum, especially Ethereum, for quite low prices back then at the end of 2019. So I haven't really been adding to my positions over there, but these have just grown organically. They have basically gone up like, well, 5x, or in some cases even 10x, I believe. With regards to these stocks, yeah, it of course went a lot. It went up a lot at the end of 2020, and in the beginning of 2021, it also went up quite a bit. But after like March or something like that, when the entire SPAC market went down, when all the growth stocks went down, my entire portfolio went down quite a bit as well, because as you will see later on in this video, I am quite heavily invested in a very risky stocks, so I'm going to be talking about that later on. So as I said, about 44.6 thousand euros is right now in stocks. Almost everything is in long-term holdings, so all of these long-term holdings are right over here, and also right over here. We're going to take a look at those in a second. And I've just got one swing trade right now, which is in Beachbody, ticker symbol BODY. Right now it is about 2,000 euros in a swing trade, which is 5% of my stock portfolio. Now, before I jump into the exact positions, my exact holdings, in general, I want to make sure that you know that I try to invest in the leaders of a certain niche. I am going to talk about that a little bit more later on. In general, you're also going to, yeah, pretty much see that I'm investing quite a bit in very high risk stocks, and with hopefully a high reward as well. My time horizon in general is about 5 years in total, but yeah, I'm still in my early stages of investing, so I'm just still going to be making some mistakes here and there, and I'm very likely going to make sometimes a few changes in my overall investing strategy. But I do think that, as you can see right now, the portfolio as it is right now, I do think the majority of these stocks will still be there in a couple of years. So let's then just jump right into it, and let's just start with the top positions over here. So over here we can see that TPGY right now is my largest holding. TPGY is one of the leaders in EV charging, and this is still a SPAC. We don't know for sure if the SPAC is actually going to merge with EVBox, because EVBox is actually the EV charging company. I have been adding quite a bit when it was trading around $10 per share, so that is why right now it is my largest position. Again, merger is not definite just yet. We are likely going to have to wait a few months more, like to December at the end of this year, or even January at the beginning of 2022, to see if we're going to see a merger between TPGY and EVBox. But yeah, if you look at the valuation of this company, if you look at the pro forma market cap, it is about $1.5 billion. They have an annual revenue for 2021, hopefully, of $144 million too. So that is going to give you a price to sales ratio of 10.9, which is definitely on the cheap end if you compare it to the other stocks in my portfolio right now. Then if we go back to the portfolio, we can see that Tesla is in number 2 over here. 12% of my portfolio is in Tesla right now. I don't really think I need to introduce Tesla. It is the leader in EVs and electrical vehicles, of course. So let's just leave it at that. The next one is Upwork. 11% of my stock portfolio is in Upwork. Upwork is, and this sometimes sounds a little bit annoying, but it is a little bit like Fiverr. Often people know Fiverr a little bit better than Upwork, but Upwork is a platform, one of the leaders for platforms for freelancers, and it is doing pretty well. I definitely like the CEO very much, and I think that the valuation of Upwork is better compared to Fiverr right now. So that is in position number 3. Then in position number 4, we have Teladoc. 9% of my portfolio is in Teladoc. Teladoc is also one of the largest positions of ARK Invest. Now they have been adding a lot to their positions of Teladoc, and Teladoc is actually the leader in the telehealth industry. Then next up is EHang. 8% is in EHang. EHang is one of the leaders in the, big drones, as you can see, or as you can say, the passenger drones. So they are trying to build autonomous drones that can transfer people from one location to another, and they are definitely one of the biggest companies out there. They were actually going to have an investor day, I think 1 month ago, more or less. Unfortunately, because of COVID, that did not happen, so they just released a video instead. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to a future investor day so we can see how everything is going at the new Yongfu facility, the production facility of EHang. Then next up is STEM, with 8% of my portfolio in STEM. This is one of the leaders of energy storage combined with artificial intelligence, so I definitely like this. This is one of my newest holdings. I've been adding quite a bit when it was around $20 per share, so right now it is a pretty solid position. Next up, Lemonade. 8% is in Lemonade, one of the leaders, or pretty much the leader in digital insurance combined with artificial intelligence. I definitely like this company. The valuation might be a little bit on the rich end, but I love the company for the long term. Next up is AgEagle, ticker symbol UAVS. AgEagle is one of the American leaders in the drone industry. Now, they seem to be moving a little bit away from package delivery drones, and they are likely going to retake that in a few years or so when the regulation of the drones has been changed. But yeah, let's see what is going to happen to this company. I also think that I will be holding this stock for quite a while, because I do think that AgEagle can definitely become one of the leaders in the drone age, as they actually call it. Then next up is ChargePoint. 7% of my portfolio is in ChargePoint. ChargePoint is a little bit like EVBox. It is basically the American leader in EV charging, whereas EVBox is basically one of the European leaders in EV charging. So ChargePoint 7% is in portfolio right now, and yeah, basically that is pretty much it, everything I wanted to talk about. So next up is CRISPR Therapeutics, that is ticker symbol CRSP. 6% is in that. They are focusing on gene editing. They are one of the leaders in that space. I might actually get rid of this stock at some point in the future. I'm not entirely sure if I want to hold this position for a very long time, because it is a very volatile stock, and for me it's very difficult to keep up with everything that is gene editing related. I think it's a very difficult sector. And if you look at the rest of my portfolio, it's a little bit more focused on electric vehicles, artificial intelligence, and also drones in general. So that is a little bit my 3 main sectors, if you will. So gene editing is a little bit weird if you compare it to the other sectors that I'm investing in. So I think at some point I'm going to get rid of CRISPR Therapeutics. Then we have View number, this is like 5% of my portfolio is in View. They're the leader in smart glass technology. It's a very interesting technology, but the thing is, or the problem is, that the costs of production of this smart glass is very high for View. So this is a little bit annoying, but the valuation, on the other hand, for View is right now pretty interesting if you look at the price to sales ratio for View, which I believe is around 15 right now. But again, yeah, very high cost, so it is a smaller position in my portfolio. And then we have Workhorse. Only 3% of my portfolio is in Workhorse. They are combining electric vehicles with drones. They had a very bad execution this year, if you ask me. ARK Invest sold their entire holding of Workhorse. I'm still hanging on to my relatively small position because, yeah, 3% isn't that much, but I am interested in the combination of electric vehicles and drones. Then 3% is also in ALPP, Alpine 4 Technologies, or Alpine 4 Holdings, I believe. This is a holding company for drone tech companies. I bought this stock at 40 cents per share, and yeah, this went up to like, I think even $8 per share. I sold quite a large position back then when it was at a very high peak, and now it has come down quite significantly. But yeah, I still hold a little bit because the thing is, Alpine 4 was going to uplist to NASDAQ. This was actually going to happen like half a year ago, I believe, but still that has not happened. So I'm kind of waiting for the uplisting to the NASDAQ, and then I'm likely going to get rid of my position here as well. And then the last one is Rocket Lab. It says 0% is in Rocket Lab because I only have 4 shares of Rocket Lab. And basically that is because all of the donations that I received from César during the live streams in the past have been invested in Rocket Lab because that is one of his favorite companies. And this is one of the leaders in space rockets. So they basically sent big rockets to the moon. Then crypto, and as you have been able to see in the beginning of this video, the majority of my portfolio is in crypto right now. And about this in general, I want to say that I'm also trying to invest here in the leaders of a certain niche. Now, as with all crypto, there is a very high risk involved with investing in crypto, but I believe that it potentially has a high reward as well. So the largest position of my crypto portfolio is in Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin, of course, being the leader of the entire crypto space. My target is basically 50% of my crypto in Bitcoin, but right now it's a little bit higher than that. But the thing is, I don't really want to sell any Bitcoin because right now I have just a little bit over 1 entire Bitcoin, but maybe I just need to let that go and put that money somewhere else in some other altcoins that I think that can appreciate more in value compared to Bitcoin instead. Now, the second largest position is Ethereum. 14% of my crypto portfolio is in Ethereum. Ethereum being the leader of the smart contracts industry and also of the NFTs right now. I probably don't really need to explain a lot either about that. Then Polkadot, 10% is in Polkadot right now. Polkadot is likely going to become the leader in connecting blockchains within a year or so when they are going to launch their parachain auctions. Now, Gavin Wood, he is the founder of Polkadot. He has also coded Ethereum, the entire Ethereum network. I believe he done that. He has done that on his own within a few days or so, or potentially a few weeks. I'm not entirely sure anymore. But it took him about 3 years with an entire team of other coders to construct Polkadot, the entire ecosystem. So I definitely think that Polkadot could be a very interesting bet still, and I believe that at some point it can definitely become as big as Ethereum. And yeah, right now it's a very interesting time for Polkadot because there are running parachain auctions on the Kusama network, Kusama being the cousin network of Polkadot right now. It's not entirely a test network, but yeah, it's a little bit, well, some people do call it a test network, but it's not entirely true and not entirely accurate at all. But I do believe that because the Kusama parachain auctions have gone pretty well, I think that in the next couple of months, we are going to see parachain auctions on Polkadot as well. And then I believe that Polkadot is going to basically flower into a beautiful ecosystem within pretty much a year or something like that. Then 8% of my portfolio is in Aave right now, Aave being the leader in DeFi, and yeah, even traditional banks like a few Dutch banks are looking into DeFi, looking into Aave to integrate their services with systems like Aave, with systems that are related to DeFi. Then 6% is in Chainlink right now, Chainlink being the leader in oracles, basically connecting the real world with the digital world. So it's definitely a very interesting one and one of the most old school cryptos out there, I believe. And then we have a little bit in skill, so about 1% is in skill right now. It's more like a small swing trade. Now, skill is the token for a game, Crypto Blades, and this is one of the leaders in the world of blockchain gaming with regards to the numbers of users, or the number of users that they have. Currently, about 140,000 people are on their Discord, so that's pretty insane. And then the last one, BNB. I just have a little bit of BNB right now, which is the token that I use to buy other tokens like skill on the Binance Smart Chain. Then with regards to my ROI for this year to date of 2021, the starting capital for stocks was 47.5 thousand euros at the beginning of this year, so only for stocks. Right now it's a little bit lower than that, 44.6 thousand euros, so that's a decline of about 6%. And with regards to the crypto, my portfolio started out at 30,000 or almost 31,000 euros. Currently it's sitting at almost 70,000 euros, so that's a pretty solid ROI of 125%. So if you combine that all together, if you combine these starting numbers from crypto and from stocks, you arrive at a starting number of 78.5 thousand for the beginning of this year. And right now I'm sitting at 114.4 thousand euros for the entire portfolio. So that is a nice ROI of almost 46%. And then a small update about my businesses. First of all, Alpha Lingua, which is a company that I have. Well, I'm just the sole proprietor of this company. And what I do is I review translations of medical text from English into Dutch. So August was a pretty decent month, a little bit more than 2,000 euros in revenue for Alpha Lingua. And with regards to Nesami, I haven't really gotten a lot of money yet from my entire project. That hopefully is going to change very soon. But this is basically the money that I get from YouTube AdSense and also from the Discord Premium that I run. And well, in a week, more or less, I'm going to be starting with a program about investing for beginners in Dutch. Hopefully I'm going to be able to generate some kind of revenue for that so that I can actually get some assistance to basically help me with the editing and also with the ad strategy that I'm currently running. So with regards to the personal expenses and the business expenses, the expenses have gone up quite a bit. Usually the summers are a little bit more expensive. I've been traveling to Geneva, I've been traveling to the southern Spain. I also had to pay for a renewal of my license to use Kajabi, which is a platform that I use to run my website and run my courses as well. So the next couple of months are going to be very important. I'm going to be translating less. So I'm going to be doing less reviews of translations for Alpha Lingua. And I'm going to be focusing more on generating revenue for Nesami. And I'm going to be using the program about investing for beginners in Dutch to generate that kind of revenue. So let's see how that is going to go. Next week, Wednesday, I'm going to be running my first webinar, so this is going to be very exciting for me. So the next months are going to be very important because for the last year I have been building my YouTube channel, I have been building lots of other things, I've been building programs, building websites, I've been learning a lot of things in the past year. But this year, or basically the next couple of months, next couple of years, are all going to be about expanding my business, generating revenue so that I can be a sustainable business, so that I can leave the world of translation and fully focus on providing value to people to make sure that everyone is able to lead a financially healthy life. So as you can see, so far so good, especially because of the crypto allocations that I currently have. Now the next couple of months are going to be very exciting, not only for my portfolio to see how I'm going to end this year 2021, but also for my business, because I'm going to be expanding my business, trying to generate revenue for this business. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about my business and my mission and my roadmap to achieve that mission, definitely check out my mission right over here. But if you have already done so, check out one of these videos, which I'm pretty sure you're going to find very interesting. And with that being said, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!